Welcome back to Reimagine with Renata. I am so grateful for all of you that have followed me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter. It is a lot to navigate all of those different platforms. And if you are ever following or reading any or watching any of the content, you know that there are different things happening on different platforms, which is also a lot of content to create, especially this podcast. I am always thrilled to have conversation, not just with you all, but with some of my good friends and introduce you to them and allow you access to what my life is like. I kind of live a private life. I post a lot, but I'm not very public about my life. So it's always a good time to show off my friends a little bit, and I share them sometimes. So get excited as I have one of my friends that I am extremely proud of here with me today. He is an entrepreneur. He is a tall black man. Okay. A lot of people love a good tall black man. Let me stop. I, I want, it's the truth though. I want to introduce you to one of my good friends, G Booker. I call him Gary. Gary, welcome to Reimagine with Renata. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Thank
Look
you.
at you. I am so
All right.
excited to have you here. Welcome to
All
the
right. I
party.
grew I grew up.
Yes, you did. I love this for you.
Thank you.
Are you smoking a cigar?
Yes, I am.
See, I didn't know you smoked cigars. How long have you been smoking cigars?
22 years now.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
First of
I
all,
started.
22 2 years. I felt
Yeah.
like I felt that. I felt that
Right.
in here like, wow, 22 years is a long time. That makes us how old? Okay.
Right. Right. Started
But you look good. You look
introduced I got introduced to smoking cigars while I was working at Nine West. We were
good.
in Vegas for one of the shoot shows and we went out to dinner with the sales reps and they smoked cigars. So at that time I was 23. So they introduced me to it then and I've done periodically for the last 23 years.
Wow. That is a art that a lot of people expect me to know a lot about because my father is Cuban. So automatically it's like one of those
Yeah.
microaggressions like, oh, so do you smoke cigar? Like what? All the things you would ask me. But
It's a it's a certain you got to be a certain type of person to enjoy a cigar. But like once you get into it and understand the mechanics of it, like not swallowing the smoke, you
makes sense. Well, I have talked about your hobbies, but our good friends would benefit from knowing more about who you are. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
okay. Name is I go by G Booker. The reason for I mean, since a kid, people always called me G. Some people know me as Gary, but actually, the name on my birth certificate is Gray. As a kid, I didn't want to be called Gray, so we went with Gary and all through school. So normally, I know how a person knows me and where they know me from what they call me. And the majority of my friends call me Books. I am the owner, founder, great grandson of Josephine Valerie. I took my great grandmother's name and created a shoe brand after my 6 years of working in the footwear industry.
That is amazing. And it's some fire shoes. You say that so humbly, like, oh, I have a shoe brand that I started after my great grandmother's name. That's amazing. There are not a lot of men that are thriving in as entrepreneurs in the
Yeah,
business that you're in. So that is an amazing accomplishment in itself.
thank you.
What inspired you? Is it just your great grandmother, or did you have other inspiration
Um,
to start your business?
well, I'm a hustler. So I grew up in the inner city. I'm from Yonkers, New York. And growing up in Yonkers was like any other hood in the the United States. I was exposed to a lot of different things. I would say on both sides, like because I actually went to school, paid attention in class, but then in extracurricular, I'm 6'6", so I played basketball. But I explained to people after basketball was over, I still had to go back home. I still had to go to that environment and be around all of the violence and the drugs and the
Yeah.
fact. And when you're a kid living in the hood and you see the people in the neighborhood. So you see the guy that go from not having nothing to having everything. And you see what money could do. You see,
Right.
excited about it, and you want the fast cars and the girls. So that's pretty much me wrapped up in a nutshell. I'm kind of like the best of both worlds. I'm a corporate thug. I can operate in the boardroom. I can operate in the street.
I mean, I feel like us as Black people have to be able to navigate both. Um, Partly because of where we come from, and also because of obviously our goals and our visions for ourselves and our families. A legacy that we want to leave requires us to be able to navigate both and like
Right,
pray that we make it on the other side safely and successfully.
right. So
Um,
um,
yeah.
also to expand on that, I was always into fashion. I would like to believe, my younger years, I was a fly dude, especially when I was going to clubs in the
It's
fashion.
important to be fly at that
Yeah, you couldn't like,
time.
and I'm tall, so I already knew people was looking at me, so I had to, had that thing on. But was always into fashion, and I never set out to be like a shoe designer. Like designing shoes was the furthest thing from my mind. Even when I worked at Nine West, I just wanted to be a rapper. I used to use their equipment to print up my CDs. So when I was out shopping my demo stuff, no, for real, we would.
I'm laughing because I'm wondering if they know that. Do they know that?
They know they was
Oh,
in
that's
on it.
dope.
They was, but see, Nine West in the corporate office, the department I worked in was right, like I was like an assistant to the product department. So we was on the same floor with product, the people that drew and designed the shoes. Marketing was down the hallway. So everything up there is creative. And this
Right.
is of the baggy era. So I was wearing big baggy 42 size pair baggy pants to work with big
Yeah.
oversized polos. I look at the pictures now and be like, yo, why did and I used to be like, yo, I used to sometimes think it was too small, it wasn't baggy enough. I'm like, why did I have that on? That
You had to go through that phase.
Yeah.
Don't be
But
envious of yourself.
they encouraged you to be whoever you was, whatever art you
That's important.
it was bring it, be who you are. And I just so happened to be drawing on one of the shoe boxes. So the samples would come in white shoe boxes. And I would have to inventory them when they came in. I was drawing on the boxes.
Mm,
At the time, Mark Fisher was the head of product at Nine West. He walked by and seen me drawing on a box. And at this time, I just happened to be drawing a shoe that was in a box. If you would have came earlier, it would have been graffiti. If you would have came 5 minutes later, that box would have been in the garbage. He just happened to come by at the right time and then told me to go sit with the people in product. They actually showed me how to take my I was drawing since 4 years old, how to take it and actually draw a shoe and then put my creativity to it.
wow, that is amazing because not a lot of organizations and or people would like
Yeah.
take the time to show someone
Yeah.
that, especially when it's to benefit them as opposed to the organization. So that's a major investment in.
That was Mark Fisher. That's who he is as a person. Like he would walk around the office and we all were on first name basis. Like it was like me and my homeboy worked there. So, we used to call him sir. He got mad one time, said, yo, stop with we would we was kind of playing too, because we would be like, he would ask us to do something and we'd be like, yes, sir. And he got mad at shit.
I
his
love that.
his thing was he wanted everybody to learn the business.
Hmm,
They
that's
would
amazing.
actually learn from. I took what I learned working for him and Nine West and just applied it to myself.
That is so awesome. And that's it takes a certain type of person to see that opportunity. But
Mhm.
obviously, you name that you're a hustler, so you're gonna see the opportunity in it for you to advance yourself. But like that is such a right time, right place, right
Yeah,
mentality situation that is obviously supporting you and doing amazing with your
right.
business. Now, you're very humble again, but you have had a few celebrities who have been blessed to be in your
Yeah, it's a
footprint.
few. It's a few of them. But
Yeah.
see, me, it's not really. I don't do it for the celebrity. I get excited when it's the everyday girl, like the
Yeah.
customer that bought my shoe, and then she go out on a date. It's usually like the feather shoe, the Josephine. Like that's the number one birthday shoe. So I get tagged in all of the birthday pictures.
That is cute. I love
So
that. I love those shoes as well. I'm excited. My time is coming. So
yeah.
I get ready because it's happening. Um, I speaking of the everyday woman, I know that your business, your target market is women, um,
Hmm.
and that takes a lot of intention in terms of creating and designing and marketing and just knowing who they are as women and what they want and what they like. So are you more intentional about understanding women, or is this do
Um,
have you assigned that work to someone else?
no, this is all me.
Oh,
All me. I draw the shoes. I pick the color, the material. I come from a big family. My great grandmother Josephine had 16 kids. My grandmother is the firstborn of her 16 kids.
wow.
11 girls, 5 boys, one set of twins, and the twins were boys. But it's all women. So the shoes are all actually named after Josephine's daughters, her offspring, whether it's her daughters, granddaughters, great granddaughters.
Wow.
Yeah. So and I like to like really sit down and have conversation with women, ask them what they like. For a while, when I was building Josephine Valerie, I would go to the gentleman club and sit at the bar, and I would talk to the bartenders and
Yeah,
just out like, yo, because they're in shoes all night. So it's like, okay, what, like, how would the experience
mhm.
be better? You have to wear heels. And then they would start telling me, yo, I wish the shoe fit like this. I wish it was like this, that. So I was taking in all of those notes. I did that for about
So,
2 years before I actually sat down and manufactured a shoe.
wow, that is a lot of intention, obviously,
Yeah.
and a lot of work because it takes time to like gather all of that information and
Yeah.
data and
It's
really
it,
create
it's
something.
it's kind of dope now because a few of the young ladies I used to talk to when I would go to see, I would get to the strip club early. I would get there like 11 o'clock. Between 11 and 12, I was in there. By 1 o'clock, I was leaving because now this is when everybody's coming in there. Between those
Yeah,
is when they're taking the pictures, promoting that they're in the club right now doing that. So
yeah,
when I would come in and I would buy shots, and I'm just sitting there drinking, having a good time. You getting ready,
yeah.
but I need this information. I get the information I needed and then leave. Now some of those girls are the it bartenders now, and I remember when they were just starting out. So it was dope to see them, prosper in their career of the female hustle, and they definitely gave me information that I needed.
That is like there's so much to just that alone, right? And like what it takes to identify who you want to serve and you want your
Yeah,
business to serve and like how the other side of it, right, is like once you've created this product and provided it to these people, like how do they like it? How do they love it? As someone who has a business and sells products, I know like there is nothing like creating something on your own and putting it in someone else's hands, selling it, right, and being
yeah,
paid for it and then they love it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
That took a long time to get there because a lot of people think it's like, oh, I want to start a business and tomorrow business is popping. It's like there are a few steps in between.
yeah.
And
They
those
don't just it just don't happen overnight. It was this was actually 10 years in the making before I actually let people know. I spent at least 5 years rebuilding my credit before I even took the next step.
That's another part of it, which I would love to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, some of our episodes are in person, but timing and conflicts with our space bring us here today virtually. But I love to have Gary back to be on the show with some of my other entrepreneur friends to talk more about um, things that will support you in becoming an entrepreneur and understanding what's behind all of the Instagram, TikTok posts. And there is so much more work that goes into that. So look out for that in the future. Now, Gary, we wouldn't be able to get too far into this episode without discussing love and relationship. So, as you know, on the podcast, we have been talking about a varying perspectives on dating in 2023, marriage, and we've said a lot. Now, as a man who is an entrepreneur and has a business that caters to women, do you find yourself being more intentional when it comes to pursuing women in relationship, or do you kind of just go with the flow?
Um, I would say I used to be a go with the flow type of person until I started my own company. So now that I'm like a businessman, you gotta I don't want to say the table, right? Because get the table out. Because what is the table? I feel like that's a loaded question within itself.
Mhm.
You say, I'm gonna say I want the opposite. So if I say I want somebody that's submissive, that stays home, cooks, cleans, blah 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 blah, you know the answers that everybody gives. Then the guy's gonna say, well, I can cook for myself, I can clean for myself. What do I need you for? Then in the flip side, if you want that boss chick that's going out getting this, that, and the third, it's I got money. I don't need your money. Blah blah blah. So
Mhm.
I feel like that what do you bring to the table question should get thrown out of here. It's really who are you in a relationship and what would you want from somebody else in a relationship?
Yeah,
Really,
I
really
think
impacting that. It's get the table out of here.
yeah, I think that in my research, I would say, I don't know if that's what it's called because you all DM me a lot of different posts from social media. But one thing I would say culturally is that there is no standard for all when it comes to dating. I think people take a lot of cues from social media and everyone on the internet with a, a camera phone is not necessarily saying what would benefit us as a human race. However, people still continue to take that advice. But I think it's important for those involved to have a common understanding of what their dating experience or relationship should be. And I think obviously having access to the world now through social media paints this picture of like options that
Mhm.
don't really exist for everyone.
Right.
Um, while we have access to a beautiful person or a wealthy person or a celebrity, that does not necessarily mean that there is going to be a connection that we want. And some people are delusional, you know, a lot of
Yeah,
things
yeah. It's
on the internet. So I'm just wondering, like, when you are like pursuing or intentional about meeting someone or being in a relationship, what is your way of going about it? Are you going out? Are you like online? Are you?
um So I would say I've been single for the last 2 years. So during COVID, I got out of a my last relationship. And I can say this, I approach every relationship or every interaction with a female the same way. I'm coming in genuine. I'm an open book. You ask me, you know what I'm saying? Be careful what you ask me, because I'm gonna what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that most people say that and then they don't, they lie and do this. I'm a person to tell you there's somebody in the trunk, man. You get in it, we ride. Don't ride if you don't know what's coming with it.
Gary, you can't pick up people on the first date and tell them it's a body in the
Body in
trunk.
the trunk. Yeah, you have to. I don't want to meet your representative. Your representative,
Oh, there's that.
like your representative is not going to last throughout the relationship. At some point, you're going to start to show me the real you, and I'm not going to like you. And it's not that I'm not going to like you because you're showing me the real you. It's because now all
It's
that
different.
time it was wasted. You were being fake. You now have the potential, in my eyes, to be fake. I can't,
Yeah, yeah. That makes a lot of
especially if you was good at it.
well, there's that. I mean, this experience is not um exclusive to men, right? With women.
Right.
And I hear
That's men that do that too.
yeah, but there are different things like that men speak on that I'm just like, oh, they kind of got a point. So for example, the when you this is why I asked what route do you take? Because like some men choose to meet people on the internet and you
Right.
have the potential to not even really know what that person looks like between filters and face. Uh
Right. No,
yeah.
that's something totally like, see, I'm still from the days of meeting people in person. I don't really do the internet, like the internet dating.
No,
Um,
I'm clear that you're speaking about just who they are being in relationship to you and it not being
right.
their authentic selves. But I think there's because there's an opportunity to be inauthentic every day online that
Right.
people forget what it is to be authentic in person because they created all
Yeah.
facades online that don't exist in real life.
Right. It's I just know internet dating is not for me. I don't I tried it. I'm not sliding any DMs asking for your number. Women actually slide in my DMs.
I'm clear because you're a tall, handsome black man.
But that's the thing. Most of them don't know how tall I am.
Oh, interesting.
If you look at my social media, there's never really pictures of me where it's head to toe. It's
That's
always like how we are right now, waist up. Me sitting down, I don't give off that I'm 6'6".
that's true.
You see me in person and be like, wow, you're tall.
That is true because especially everybody's taller than me. So
Right,
if you're meeting women that are my height, 5'3", 5'4", like I can imagine they are taken aback by how tall you
right.
are. So when you go out, do you meet women like lounges, clubs? I ask because there are women in my circle and age group, and maybe even older or younger, who are unclear where men are hanging out these days.
Um,
Their answer is Target and Home Depot
so you know
and
what?
Walmart.
Yeah, so like for our age group, see, I'm not, I'm the club scene is over.
Mhm.
Like I said, when I would go to the gentleman club, I was there really for business. So I went there at a certain time because I know what's going to happen at a certain time. I mean, we're at Home Depot. We're doing stuff for our house. Like we're too busy. For real. It's, we're really like, you know what I'm
Or
saying?
asleep. Oh look,
We're
or
going to Home
asleep.
Depot. We may pop out at a birthday party here and there. We might go to a lounge or something, but we not. It's you got to catch us at the bank.
Yeah, that's an interesting place to meet people. Now, are you intentional about pursuing a relation or women in general? Like, are you seeking,
Currently,
dating, courting,
currently,
or
yeah,
like,
currently I'm not because of um to date me now is a little bit different because like when I'm like I'm like the female in a relationship that's coming with a kid. This is my kid. So if you're not helping with this, it's like see you later. Like for real. What sense
you
would
know,
it
I
make?
love
Like
my friends, y'all. Y'all have to know, I love my friends. Um, I understand keeping it very.
now, if I'm dating you, there should be no need for me to pay an influencer. You are the influencer.
Wait, so wait, wait. Sorry, Gary. I'm laughing because I want to understand the kind
Okay.
of
So
if you're dating someone and you all are in a relationship, they now are on your team
yes,
and they
yes,
have work to do, not just one
yes, you got
day.
work to do. So this is my thing, right? We're dating. You should be if we go out to a restaurant, you should be wearing my shoes. You
I agree.
friends to do that. You should be wearing you got a business meeting. You should be wearing my shoes. Now,
I agree.
because you are dating the owner of the company, if the shoe is not the color you want, I can make it the color you want. I can turn everything behind me into any color, any material I want.
Right. So you could keep her fly, is what I'm
Fly
hearing.
is an understatement. You want the shoes with the trench coat with nothing under it. I can manufacture that.
Right.
Even draw the lingerie and manufacture that. So you're like, if you're a chick that's into fashion, it's on.
Right.
You're a fashion house. Bring your ideas. I draw. You just have to explain to me, like, I'm looking for something like this. And then we sit down and edit it. But if we're dating and I'm giving you shoes and you never wear them, why would I continue to give you shoes?
I get that. Now, let me ask you, um, what is it like dating as an entrepreneur? Because I work full time and entrepreneur and like content creator. So I understand that time is short, and when there is time, I want it to be impactful and meaningful. So, like, what does dating look like for you in your business? Are you guys on a date night in the design room? Because that could happen. That's cool too. I'm just
Say that
trying
would be a
to
dope thing. Get some wine, some music.
because
And
you got to get this work done.
right. We gotta get this work done, but we also spending quality time together.
Absolutely,
Spending
agree.
quality. So um a young lady I dated, back in the days when I was young, she told me, and this always stuck with me. So I was in my early 20s. She told me that, a girl like her, meaning the typical bad chick, the boss chick, or the social media influencer of today. This is
Yeah,
her back then. She told me a girl like her always wants what the guy is not giving them. So if he's giving them money, they want the time.
time.
If he's giving you the time and the good sex, they want the money. She
Mhm.
said that at this time I didn't have the money. So she's saying, yo, the D is good, but I had money to give her.
I mean, we keeping
So,
it
but
very
I had to sit back and and really separate my feelings from what she was saying because obviously she was breaking up with me at that point because all I was giving her was the pipe. I wasn't giving her money.
very.
I don't understand why I wasn't, contributing because at that time I'm 23 years old working at Nine West making 50K. I'm getting paid for at that age, 23. I got
That's true. At
bills.
that, I look. There are people I
I'm
know
balling. At that age, I was balling
today not
making
making.
that amount of money. In
Yeah,
2003, making that type of money, I was fucking balling. I used to literally go in the mall, influenced by Jay-Z and the streets is watching. It was the scene where he went into the store and bought the whole wall of sneakers. I started doing dumb shit like that. I literally would go in a sneaker store and come out with 4 pairs of sneakers. And I was doing shit like that on my lunch break. So at that time, being young and getting those type of checks, I was more concerned about my image as a rapper than in a relationship. So as I get older, going through therapy, I can now reflect on what she was saying. I was like, okay, cool. Fast forward to me.
Time out. You've been to therapy?
Yeah, I go to therapy. I've been to therapy twice in my life. So we'll get into that.
Oh, okay, listen, we're gonna circle
Yeah,
back. Okay,
yeah, we're
great.
gonna circle back to that. So with getting to know me and who I am as a person, it's like, okay, I can accept that that's where I was at that point in my life. That's who I wanted to be with. I would start really analyzing what I was bringing to the relationship as I would get into different relationships. But I understood that, like, if I was giving a girl money, she would want my time. If I was giving her time, then I wasn't getting no money. And I would find that out in, I think, 3 relationships after that, because I was just like, this girl, she actually was the motivation for me to like really get going and to build my own empire. I ended up going broke. And I'm talking about going upon my chain and all of this type of shit. I was fucked up. Um, I was only fucked up for 2 months. That's the part that hurt.
Mm.
He leaves me for a dude that wasn't fucked up, which brought me back to what the other girl said it was, because I was giving her all my time. So I'm like, okay, I did the just giving the pipe. I did the this, that, and the third. Now I got to go get the money now. Fuck that.
I get it. I get it. Making these adjustments to support your goals and your dreams are
Yeah,
important, but also like some people don't bounce back from scenarios like that. Like
yeah,
some people experiencing something like that with someone that you are in love with or have built this connection with that you depend on could potentially shift the trajectory of your life. So like
right.
it's super dope that you were able to like get focused and still be about a brand that supports women.
Right. Yeah, because I never, throughout my ups and downs with women throughout the years, I never took it personal. That was, you were, I'm on a journey. The joy is really in the journey. I didn't know the journey. I knew as a kid that I was going to be successful, but success is something different for everybody. Just with me
Mm.
going to college, like my great grandfather, my grandma Josephine's husband, he was able to see me play in a college basketball game. He had 16 kids, their kids had kids, so and so on. I'm like the third or fourth generation. It took from me playing basketball to go to college for him to see his offspring in college.
Mm.
So, and it's been since me, there's been other of my little cousins that's been to college and played D1 basketball sports.
Oh, that is so awesome. That's amazing. That's really dope. I do want to circle back to the therapy, but I want to ask you, um, like, do you have relationship goals? Like, I know if in a relationship you want someone that is supportive of your dreams and goals, and you all are seemingly like on the run, like
Right.
building an empire, right? Okay, so when you meet someone, is it like you're looking for someone just to date, someone you want to marry? Like, what is your
My ultimate goal is to have the same thing that my great grandparents had. You know,
mm,
um, I'm looking for love, but I'm not looking for it. Because every relationship that I've had, I've put myself out there 100%. Right? I just
mhm,
like what I would have gave them. They obviously didn't do in return for me, but
mhm,
um, I don't blame them for whatever decisions that they made. I just know going forward in any relationship that I'm in, if I have the therapy talk. And if you tell me you're all right, you don't need therapy, we like it's over after that. Because everybody, because I was a person that said I didn't need
I
therapy.
thought I thought it was just me. I'm like, the world needs therapy. The entire world, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like, because I was in that place. I've been in therapy twice in my life, and I'm gonna go back probably after the summer because there's some new. It's a new chapter, so I need clarity and guidance on the journey that I'm about to take with the next 5 years of my business. Um, Therapy to me is just it's a place where you could go and drain off your emotions with someone that doesn't have a vested interest in the outcome. So I can say
Mm,
whatever I want. And you can't tell me to you can tell me to look at it in this way, but you don't have a vested interest in swaying me to go this way. I'm
right.
just saying, do you hear yourself? Are
That
you
makes
putting your feelings to your behaviors? So um I had to go, court. It was court mandated when I was in sixth grade. I got into an incident with one of my teachers. She was the guidance counselor at the time, but she used to be my second grade teacher. An incident happened where she said she was trying to do one thing. Um, I see the incident from something different. My lip ended up getting busted. I ended up chasing her back to her classroom with a 2x4. So the principal asked me what was I going to do with the 2x4. He asked me a 12-year-old kid. My reply was, I'm going to kill that bitch. Did I mean I was going to kill her? No.
my God.
But so,
I'm oh my God it because you are aware of what I do for a living, right? During the day. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about
yeah.
it offline.
So, so, you know, um, part of going through the whole process of all that, they wanted to remove me from my home, put me in residential
At
and
that time, that makes sense
and
because
and, and,
right
and
now
lock up.
that would
But
be a thing, really.
yeah, so luckily I came from the family that I came from. So, the alternative was me going to therapy and also playing a sport. That's how basketball got introduced. Um, Now I had all these things, like I had to go to school, then from school, go to therapy, from therapy, basketball practice home. They started to eliminate the amount of time that I had idle time to do nothing,
Yeah.
which was cool. But as I was going through therapy I went sixth grade, sixth and seventh grade. By eighth grade, it was over. But for those 2 years, it helped catapult me to where I was at until I would end up going again, probably, I would say about 7 years ago. I went for about 4 years.
That is awesome. So, prior episodes, we've had conversation with one of my friends who's a therapist and couples who have been to therapy. And it seems as though the conversation is becoming more popular in our community and within our homes
Right.
at a time where obviously it's needed, but is something that everyone in the world needs. So I'm happy to know that you have a plan when you feel like you need to have time or someone that could
I have a
support.
I have a female therapist.
Do you?
Yeah,
What is that like?
she's dope because she's older. So it's like talking to your auntie as
That makes sense. I
it's
have a female therapist as well. She is older as well, and she's not with any of my shenanigans. So, as much as I am capable of and aware of, she is aware that I am aware. And so, there, it's kind of one of those things where you know better and someone is not going to allow you to not be actively doing the things you know how to do. So she plays as my accountability partner as well, but also very inspiring. So I am an advocate for therapy and having the best therapist for you, because
Yeah.
there are a lot of therapists, but it's important to pick someone who you feel comfortable with and could potentially um, support you in getting to goal faster. No, therapy doesn't have to end, but I don't know if anyone else has the
Mhm.
same healthcare costs that I have.
I'm at the place to where, me and my therapist agreed that I was at a space to where I can continue on the journey where I didn't need therapy, to come in every day. But
Mhm.
like I said, I instinctively knew that at some point things would accumulate, and then it's time to go back because I dealt with whatever trauma I needed to deal with at that time. So now is you never fully get rid of trauma. Something else, as you go into a new stage of life, you're gonna
That's
see
true.
there's new stages of trauma that you didn't even know that was bothering you because you wasn't in that space.
That is the truth. Um, you can be triggered by something you thought you were over because it came in a different way, shape, or form. So yeah, I totally feel that. I see therapy also as self care,
Yeah.
which I'm an advocate for. Do you have a self care routine?
Um, I'm currently working on it. I didn't at first, but now I'm kind of like getting into it, like actually working out. I have a he's 13 now, 13-year-old nephew who plays football. So he'll be attending Cardinal Hayes High School in the Bronx to play quarterback for them. They've been watching him since he was 11. Um,
That's awesome.
actually,
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. To actually get him to, put in that maximum effort. 'Cause now, like all of his coaches, I see the potential in what you can do. For me being a Division 1 athlete, I know what that strain takes on your body. So it's like, how can I tell him to do his push-ups and then do this, do that, and I'm not doing it, So it's like, okay, um,
Yeah.
the benefit of it is I show my nephew what it's going to take to get in shape, but I actually get in shape. So I've been working on that. It's a long road, man. My body ain't to say. It's like my mind still want to do the stuff I used to do, but it ain't there.
Um, that is valid. The best way to tell you is to show you, and he could be an accountability partner without even knowing it.
Yeah,
So that's pretty dope. I think that self care for me varies. Some days it's just loud music and a dance party in my house. Some days
right.
it is a lot of aromatherapy and candles. Um,
Okay,
some days it is a long nap. I have a tendency to get trapped in a nap.
okay.
But I know that as an entrepreneur, and for me, someone who also still works full time, that I time can get away from me. So like when you are maybe overwhelmed while working, what is there something that you do for maybe 15, 20 minutes
Um,
or that could
Listen, I mean, for me, it's, listening to music. I have certain playlists that I know, okay, I want to be in this mood. Let me listen to this playlist. I want to feel like this. I want to remember a certain, like a lot of it. Um, when I'm listening to music, I listen to like old music, Patti LaBelle and stuff, because it reminds me of my grandmother and the relationship that me and her would have, playing music. So that always motivates me. And I'm an artist too, so I draw a lot, which
mm,
which is how I get all of the shoes. So that's another thing, that I do. And for me, my art and drawing was something I've been drawing since I was 4 years old. My mother knows how to draw.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, when I was a kid, she would buy me these He-Man action figures, and they would come with these little small comic books. And I would point to pictures in this comic books, and then she would draw it. And I would like lean over her shoulder and watch her do it. She would get mad. And then she left the paper and the pencil on the table, and I just started doing it. Like I would look at stuff and then be able to draw it. So going
That is amazing. That's like genius. Like that's so dope.
yeah, so thank you. Um, going to school, like I would take art classes. My assignments would be different from the rest of the class. So it was like nobody never really sat down and taught me how to draw. I was born with it. It was a gift. And I used to keep that to myself a lot. Like, um, I drew all through elementary. Then, like I said, I got into the situation with the teacher. Then my life changed. So I stopped drawing for a lot of years. I didn't start until from sixth grade I stopped. I didn't start drawing again until I was in college. My
Wow, that's
junior
amazing.
year of college is when I started drawing again. I took an art class. So in order to stay eligible to play basketball, I needed another credit to where I would get an A. And when I was going through the classes, I seen art, and then I asked him. I was like, "Yo, if I take an art class, it don't matter what class." It was like, "Yeah." So I had already knew, like, if I take this class, I'm gonna get an A. And
Wow, that is interesting and amazing at the same time because it sounds as though all of the cards align for you
yeah,
in the way that it should.
and see, and this is the thing that, like, for therapy for me is people when they sit down and talk to me, they be like, "Yo, I don't understand how you're so humble," because I don't believe this shit myself. This shit literally sounds unbelievable. Like, how was I in these places at these times with these things happening, especially
Oh yeah,
coming from where I come from, and the people that I was around. But then, if you think about it, the people that I was around were like blessed. Like, I grew up in the same neighborhood as Jada Kiss and Chic. I don't know them as Jada Kiss and Sheik. I know their real names. Like, 'cause these are the people that are outside. As I'm coming outside to play, they're only 4 years older than me.
yeah,
My cousin, like my older cousins, is within their groups too. So it's like that was the community we came from.
yeah. This is really dope, and I'm excited to have you on future episodes with some of my other friends to get all of these perspectives in one room. It's very
Now that would
interesting.
be dope. That would be dope.
In addition to the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that it is Women's History Month, and we are going to continue to have conversations about supporting women, but there is a conversation I'm excited to have with one of my good friends, Nusrat. Nussie is how I know her affectionately, and she is an amazing person and is very adamant about uh, making people or supporting people and being more aware of their community and who is in it. And as you know, Gary, I love to support your brand and business and letting people know who you are and where you are and what you do. But this conversation with my friend Leslie and others will be about how women can best support men. And so will continue to reach out to you to get your insights on that so that we have a lot of information to share with the ladies who follow and watch Reimagine with Renata. Because I feel like sometimes, and maybe you can speak to this, that women think men think like they do, and so they operate like women with expectations that a woman should have, not necessarily what a man would do or is able to fulfill. So
Right.
I'd love to hear your perspective offline,
Yeah,
but happy to have you back to
I
have that
think, yeah,
conversation.
but I'll give you a quick. little something on what I think. I think women should like men. We're simple. We don't want much. We just love us. Keep it real. Like be there with us. My thing is you have, which is dope. The independent black woman. You know what I'm saying? My mother was a would be considered an independent black woman in
Mhm.
in within its regards. I would say though, if you're a woman that's getting to the bag, find you a man that's getting to the bag, but don't just violate his bag. Like y'all have a tendency of that. Like a,
That's
a
interesting.
woman, a woman will see me, right? I check off every box. The look department, height department, motivation department, own business department, and make over 100K for the last 6 years.
Mhm.
Own my house, all of that. Right?
Mhm.
A woman will see that and say, "Yes, girl, I hit the jackpot." And now you want to come in and you want to take resources out. You want to take resources away from this. You want to. Right now, we ain't at the Dubai trips. We ain't at the. We could get on a private plane. We could fly first class. We can do all that. But the currency is going to come down if it's coming out of my budget.
So I have that's a very interesting perspective. That maybe not this episode, another episode elaborate on with others as well, because that is a popular conversation. One with the married couples that I had. We didn't have it on a show, but just in conversation, preparing for the show and after, and discussing like this image of what a man in a relationship should be doing versus what the woman should expect.
We not even in them days no more. So this
Right,
again, you can't have it both ways. You can't
right.
say you want a traditional man, not a
Mm,
traditional woman. You out here getting to this bag. I did all of this with my own money. Worked
mm,
2 full-time jobs. I worked my mate's job. You know what I'm saying? I got in a relationship with myself and I told myself go get another job. So I work 2 full-time jobs. Now imagine if I'm bringing home 100 plus a year, you bringing home 80 to 100 plus a year, right? We put 50% of what we bring in together, we're gonna build something for our kids. See, people are selfish; they want it now. I'm not
yeah,
doing this for me. I'm doing this for my kid. I don't.
yeah.
But if I got a kid, you bring your money, I bring my money. We establish something that we could give our kid. Our kid is not out here talking about, oh, I'm independent, I'm this, that, and the third. Our kid is good. You're gonna die, I'm gonna die. Our kid is hopefully still gonna be here. You don't gotta like me, but let's
Not you don't gotta like
you
me.
don't gotta like me. At that point, if it's over, you ain't
You
gotta
are such a Sagittarius.
am I lying? No, you don't gotta like me. If we go our separate ways,
Not you don't gotta like me. What happened to being like your great grandmother and great grandfather? Now you don't gotta like
that was
me.
daytime. That was back then. I think she was 16 when they got together or something like that. They started early.
That is hilarious.
They came in the game together, they went out together. It was beautiful. They had a beautiful love story. She passed away a year before him. A year later, we found him. He got dressed and he just sat on the bed and passed away. Man, he was ready
Wow.
to live without it.
God bless
You know what I'm
them.
saying? That was dope. I got them. I had a portrait of them tattooed on my chest. That shit was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would want that. I'm realistic. Too far in the game now for that.
Maybe not, but I would say it sounds like you who you picking. I was that's always my response to people. Don't take it
Right.
personal. That's my response to everybody.
Now, and
Who
I
you
get that.
picking?
I have made some questionable choices in
Haven't we all? Haven't we all? Listen, my daughter. True story. My daughter told me I make questionable choices. Okay, wait till you have a child as a teenager. They will be honest with you about what they think
right.
about your life choices. Okay.
Yeah. So but that's also one of the reasons why I didn't have a kid young is because it was like I didn't want to go through that then. You know what I'm saying? See, right now, if I had a kid with any of the girls that I've dated in the past, where I'm at currently and where they may be at currently is like, especially because I'm the type of person that I am. After I date you, I'm gonna date somebody else. You know what I mean? You're going to be mad.
Well, so what are you telling us, Gary? You have a lot of mad females out
Um, it's relationships are just it's what you make of them for real, for real.
what both people make of them,
Yeah,
right?
but
Take
I come in the game fair. So with any relationship that I'm in, I'll even with like social media. Social media is just the back burner for the next person you're gonna date. Like, if
that's
your social
true.
media, if you go through your social media, somewhere in those followers or somebody that you know that's interested in dating you, well, maybe the time is not right now. Not really into texting you back and forth because I'm over here on this. But if things change in the future, you know where that person is at. They're over there.
Maybe I guess
Always,
that's some way
always. There's no
to look
no
at it.
always, always. So being that I know this because it's true for me, I know it's true for you. Because
Well, listen,
I was
I
having
don't. There's nothing in my DM.
this okay,
Nothing
right?
going on in my DM.
It's probably not, but that dude is somewhere in there. He's
Okay.
somewhere in your followers, somewhere in there. It's just it didn't align yet, right? But I tell girls that I date, like I understand what this is. So the dude that's leaving the hard eyes and this, that, and the third, check that. You're not gonna see that on my platform. Once I'm in a relationship, any girl that I've ever dated, hung out with, had sex with, this, whatever, whatever, I'm not gonna disrespect you. You're not gonna disrespect me. I'm not gonna leave hard eyes under your shit. You ain't gonna leave hard eyes under my
Oh,
shit.
you have
We're gonna keep it.
relationship social media rules.
I wouldn't say rules. It's just respect. Because
I
what
agree.
I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if I see the disrespect and I call it out, it's up to you to handle it. Because once you set the rules that okay, this is acceptable in a relationship, then I open the floodgates for it to be acceptable on my platform. You're not going to like it. And I'm going to show you that it's like a light switch. I could turn it on and off. It's off because I respect our relationship. But once you show me that you don't respect it, you're still entertaining all of this other stuff, I'm going to show you how much entertainment is over here.
So, what I'm gathering is that you have clear expectations and boundaries that you set when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Because
to
I'm honest. I'm a realist. We know.
well, now that honesty, I don't know if women really listen to men, what men say, and take it seriously. And I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm just saying, like, I feel like they can change a man's mind.
Yeah,
They have
that's not
no
going to happen.
clue.
But y'all are also, he's just my friend. I don't see him in that way. He sees you in that way.
Mm-hmm.
There are dudes out here that will wait until Armageddon to have sex with you, if that's what it takes. Oh, the world's about to end. She definitely gonna give me some now. Okay? Nigga will wait that long. Like if I could be like, what I'm saying? It's a big her house is about to fall into a sinkhole. I jumped over the sinkhole, saved her. She's definitely gonna give it to me now. There's dudes like that. Y'all think they don't exist.
Gary, I want you to not be petty like me. I want you to not be as petty as me.
Rules.
Oh my God. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So when there's a game that I like, I need my own game because I keep promoting like all these other games that I enjoy. The game is called Moral Dilemma. and
Okay.
I am going to pose a question, a scenario, and then give you two choices, and then you tell us your choice and why. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna do one. Question: You have fallen in love with the cyborg from Star Trek Voyager. If you don't know what she looks like, Google her. She is super hot and doesn't look like a cyborg at all. Do you tell your parents the reason you can't conceive a child is because she's a cyborg? Or tell your parents that you are infertile due to heavy laptop use?
I'm telling them she is cyborg. I'm not putting it.
I want to be a fly on the wall when you tell your parents that you are in love with a cyborg.
Hey, yo, it's my new robot chick. You know what I'm saying? No,
This is what it is.
I met her on the internet.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know. Am I tell your parents the reason you can't
But
conceive?
I don't. But see, this is the thing too.
My mother wouldn't be looking for a child necessarily, so I don't know if I would have to. That's not the
See,
question.
my mom, she wants me to have a kid. I think that now I'm in a space to where I can have a kid because it's kind of gonna be and I hate to say it like this, but it's gonna be a business transaction. Like you can go hot girls,
What
you're right. I just give me the kid, go do your thing. I'm gonna flip it. It's gonna be the reverse. You can have a kid, and you can give it to me, and you can be quote unquote the deadbeat. Enjoy yourself. We're over.
what? I want you
You're
to not
ready.
expectation that your child's mother is going to be a deadbeat. I want you all
No,
to have
I'm just
a
saying.
beautiful, loving
So,
family.
so in my early years, a girl that I was dating, she didn't want to be in a relationship, but she wanted to have. She already had a kid, but she wanted to have another kid. So this I've been asked this twice throughout my life. For me to just get them pregnant and they have a kid, and then I can go off and like you off the hook, just let's have a kid and we not together. You could co-parent if you want, but it's not mandatory.
That's interesting. I've
That's
never
it.
had that desire, so I don't know if
That
that's.
fucked me up. Like because actually
I
one
don't
of the
know
girls
if
I
that's
actually
like.
liked. One of the girls I actually liked and was like, yo, I would have a kid with you. Um, Shot that shit up a couple times. Never, never had a kid, but I'm just like, I didn't know how I felt like
About not having a
about
child.
not being in my child's life.
Mm,
And she lived on the West Coast, so it's like at that time I knew I was going back to New York.
mm.
I'm going back to New York with in my mindset, the saying in New York, you make it here, you can make it anywhere. So I'm like, all right, I'm going back home. It's time for me to make it.
Yeah.
At that time, my goal was to do music and be on Rough Riders. So that came true to an extent. They never released my project, but I made it to actual Rough Riders recording artist. Um, but just then I'm young. I'm in my early 20s to just have a kid and walk away. Like to me, that was just you asking me to walk away from my kid, man. Like my biological father wasn't in my life, so I was luckily. My mother met my sister's father when I was 4 months old, so known him to be my father up until he passed 2 years ago. But I've always known that my biological father lives in Ohio. We don't have the best relationship. We have a better relationship now because of me going through therapy.
Mm,
Um,
that's impactful.
yeah, so we can now have phone conversations, and I don't I don't have any resentment towards him because he was 21. Him and my mother was 21 when they had me. I know
Mm,
what I was out here doing at 21. So I can't, I don't know what what journey you was on that caused you to make the decisions you made. That ain't for me.
Yeah.
For you to, on your journey to get these answers. Like, so to have those two girls to ask me to do something that, inside of me I despise, to become what I grew up hating and not wanting, it kind of made me look at them different. Man, you fast forward to who I am today, it's like I might need that same offer, but in reverse. Give me the kid, go do what, be lit.
Yeah.
Be lit. We over here though.
So you meet women in their 40s that want to be lit?
No, this is what I'm saying. It's
I'm just saying, I'm inquiring.
nah, nah.
Curiosity is killing.
40,
Okay.
the 40-year-olds is, I don't know, man. Women my age, it's not. You know why? Because it's a little. It's, how do I say it? I'm trying to be politically correct because I know what
Because they're
most.
your clients.
Not do I, the people that buy my shoes? No, I don't. I don't mess with my customers, and I don't mess with my influencers.
Mhm.
Like that's a
No, I'm saying like the women who follow you or purchase your shoes or like into your brand could be in their 40s. So
yeah,
that,
yeah, 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 they are. But I don't date my customers or this, that, and the third. But the pool of women that's in my age,
I don't know
we
why
too
this is
old.
so.
I'm trying to find the best way to say it. We too old to be playing these games. Like,
I mean, there are a lot of women who would say the same about men.
right. With there are men out here that's playing games. So I'm gonna give you just from the guy's perspective, right? We're in our 40s. I meet you, you going through your celibacy and whatever you doing. Respect my non-celibacy. That's all I'm saying. If don't
Well,
be kissing up on me, don't be rubbing up on me, this and that, and then you hitting me with the I'm celibate. You're not celibate. And if you,
that sounds like a game, but continue.
right, and if you are, but understand, like if we sitting there and we having these conversations, right? Because I'm in a space to where I'm so busy, I'm not just out here looking to like hookup culture, right?
Mhm.
Hookup culture, you can find that. I know where I can go get that at. I can pop these young 30-year-old, 25, 30-year-old chicks, you go to the club, they jumping. And they jumping from front to front, which is a whole other conversation.
Okay.
But now you get to
Ah,
you
okay.
get to the you get to the 40-year-old female, you've had your fun in the 20s. See, now you got the guys in the 40s, especially ones that like, okay, buckle down and say, all right, I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna, so when we are right now, 40-year-old, we the guys that was in the club when we was 20s and old dudes was popping bottles and doing all that, the nigga with the money that y'all was going in the VIP section with, and we were still standing at the bar like, yo,
Hmm.
young girls that was with them. Now we them old dudes that could go get them young girls. Y'all mad now. Now y'all like, yo, what's up? You want a relationship, this and that. Nah, I
Oh
remember.
my God. I'm logging off, Gary. I'm
No,
logging off.
it's the truth. That's what I'm saying. We gotta start having these conversations where it's the truth.
So I don't
Younger. I
I don't
remember, I remember being in high school. See, now with me being tall, I'm 6'6", my senior year, I'm the man on the basketball team. So with me being a man on the basketball team, I'm already being looked at by all of the popular girls, the bad girls. Everybody want me. They want to date the popular dude, right? For all the girls that didn't get the popular dude, there was always that one girl in high school that had the dude pulling up in the BM, the Benz. That nigga was 27.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
He was
true.
he was old as shit.
The R. Kellys of the
He
world.
had the bread. Then you had the security guards and the deans and all that. They was getting a couple dollars. They was hitting the chicks in the high schools too. Y'all been doing that since high school. There are dudes that like I said, I went through stages. See, I was always able, because of my height, and girls always want the tall guy, to constantly be dating the popular chick here and there. But financially, I wasn't there. So they would leave me for the dudes that was getting more money at the time. So I'm like, okay, cool. I built up the money. So now I'm still harboring those feelings of
Mm.
like you. I had a girl tell me, and when we was in high school, I didn't like her. I'm at my pops had a bar at the time. I'm at the bar, I'm drinking, and she like, yo, didn't you like me in high school? I'm like looking at her like, no. She was like, oh, I don't know what I was thinking, but you was younger than me. I was older, but I should have talked to you and this, that, and the third. She was like, oh, I just love a man that wear Izzy Miyake. You smell so good. I never wore Izzy Miyake again after that.
Oh my
For
God.
real. So we went through that as men, liking the popular chick and she going with the dudes that was older. So we start to look at those dudes and saying, what is it about them? Oh, son is this, he got that. That attracts this. Now we're in position to where we got the little shiny thing to dangle in front of y'all. Y'all want us to be in relationships with y'all now after y'all walked off on us. The
What is
relationship
that
is
everyone's
that's
story
every dude,
or
every
some?
that's every dude in our age group thinks like that and believes like that. Even the ones that was getting money back then is they counting the money that they wasted. They're like, damn, if I still had that, if I ain't mess with her,
Oh my God. So
this, that, and the
are
third.
you telling me that men are in their 40s, because I'm also in my 40s? Are you telling me that they are miserable or bitter behind things that happen?
No, I'm just saying why when
Okay.
you want to date the girls our age, we still do. But then y'all come with so much trauma from when y'all was young dealing
And
with the older dude.
we all do, no?
Yeah. Y'all was young, y'all was dealing with the older dude. The older dude, he had money, so he hitting everything moving. That's young. Then y'all get older and expect that is y'all are, I'm not taking this no more. So now we're in a position and you like, yo, you was cute back in the day. You was this, you doing good. Let's get into a relationship. But now you have all of these standards. No, I'm not gonna hook up with you. You gotta do this, you gotta be it. Like, why I gotta buy
They are
rules?
because they are now guarded due to the choices
The
they
older dude, the choices that they made when they were younger with the older dude, now you making us pay for it. So we why pay for it when I'm the older dude now? I can go get this
right.
dude. The
I hear you.
I'm
No,
yo, I'm hot in the between the 25 and 35-year-old range. I'm a hot commodity. I'm unking them. 1-year-old girl, I'm unking them.
I can't. I cannot with you. I mean, it's the truth, but it is also hilarious.
Yeah, but it's I think in our community, the healing will start once we start to really dive into that dynamic, right? Guys, we feel this way because we were young and the older dudes was taking our girls. And y'all was happy to go with them. We get it. We didn't have the cars. We didn't have the flashy lifestyle. We couldn't take you on a trip in. Some of us had the potential for it.
Mm.
Every girl I ever dated, if they would have kept it 100 with me and helped me build this, I was going to build this. I didn't know it was going to be this, but I was going to build something regardless. They never stuck around to help or support me to build it. So then why would I, you know what I'm saying, in my own age group? When I come around, it's like, yo, we grew up together. I know what it is. Okay, you're celibate. I'm not looking to jump in the bed with any chick out the gate right now. I'm older. If I want that, I know where to go get it from. But let's not play this game where it's, oh, I'm celibate. Oh, I want this type of ring. You got to be providing for me. You got to do this, that, and third. Nah, we not at that level no more.
That is a good conversation.
You bringing this type of money to the table. I'm bringing this type of money to the table. Let's put our resources together and go buy property. Go buy this. Go start this business. Go do what do you like to do? Or you like if you was into candles, okay, I manufacture. Let's find a manufacturer to do these candles. And yo, this is how I go about marketing. Let's tie this in. Let's build. Versus you coming in saying, yo, this guy has this. Let me take from this and stash mine. You're not even doing nothing with what you stashing. You're going to give it to Chanel, to Gucci, to all this other stuff taking girls trips and doing all this, and the dude is sitting at home like, yo, I gotta go get some more money.
Yeah.
Let's
But
build.
that is a specific type of woman that
Yeah, I
may
mean,
not be found in
the pool that I got my toes in, those are the type of women that's around me.
that God bless you because um, they do exist. I find that there are less men with your mentality. So, like, not necessarily looking at all, or if they are looking, it's not very clear what their intentions are. And I'm not speaking for all men, I'm speaking for some. I don't want
Right.
to generalize. But again, I know that there are a lot of men in your age group who feel that way. Like they will date younger women. And it's interesting because this younger men that they're not dating are the ones that are
A little
after
turn.
women our age. So it's just very interesting that
Yeah.
everyone
It's a repetitive cycle.
yeah. Okay. That brought up a lot that I
But then
definitely
too, also to add to that, when you get a guy, I'm 43, right? I don't have kids yet. So in order for me to have kids, I can have kids up until I'm 50. So now I need to have it with a younger female so that, she can carry my kid to term without complications. Here and there. So it's
hopefully.
nothing personal at this stage for me. It's nothing personal against women my age. It's just I can't at this point in life, I've built my business. Now my thing is I built the foundation. Now it's to keep building up. It's gonna be a high rise. Um Not saying that I wouldn't marry a woman that's my age, right? But at that point, we can't have offspring. So I'm gonna have a child. That doesn't
I
so
mean, it depends on how long it takes you. I know a lot of
I
women.
mean, we could get busy out the gate, but leave the celibacy shit in the games at the door.
I'm just saying,
Like,
I mean, I know
if,
a lot of
if you
women.
know, if you know you got 3 years left of fresh eggs, we gotta go now. We can't play this. We didn't get
Yeah,
here. You
I
know what I'm saying?
understand.
I would think about it. I gotta be married. Nah, we gotta get to it. We gotta go. It's go time.
I can't. Gary, I can't deal with you. I really can't. I can't. I
It's,
can't.
it's these are the conversations that people should be having. Yeah, I'm saying it in a
I'm
funny way,
laughing.
but
I'm
I'm
not.
saying it in a funny way, but this is real.
I don't disagree with you. Um, I'm laughing one because there's so much that could be discussed just on the this one conversation alone, but also like I cannot wait for to have you in a room with a few other people to have these conversations because I guarantee it'll be a time. I
Yeah.
guarantee it'll be a time mainly because not just for women and men in their 40s, but women and men in their late 20s, 30s who have
Mhm.
expectations for like building a family and a future
Right.
and like and are in all in the same pool actually. I have a friend who believes it is no longer a pool, that it is actually a toilet and we are swimming around in crap. And I'm just like, there are so many perspectives. So it would be very interesting to have you all in one room to talk about why we are where we are, how we got here.
Right.
It just sounds like is what you were talking about, and also like what to do next because we can't stay here.
Yes. Right. We definitely can't stay here. So we definitely got to start having the conversation and, seeing where we can find common ground, acknowledging what's hurt each other, things
Hmm.
we've done to hurt each other, whether it be on purpose or, inadvertent. But there's some hurt there within our community.
That is true. I
But
agree.
I believe that we are more powerful with a two income, you know what I'm saying, family.
Absolutely.
True income. Like don't just stash your shit in the bank and let it build up while my joint is depleting.
We are talking about some of your choices um, in women. Um, this has been great, Gary.
Thank you.
We have a lot more to discuss. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to one, thank you all for watching, obviously, and I hope there are some good gems that came out of this conversation, but also that you are as excited as I am to have Gary back to talk more about not just entrepreneurship and love and relationship, but life in general. This is a lifestyle brand, and my goal is to support you in every area of your life, not just love and relationship, but also just like your self care experience and putting yourself first and making yourself a priority and building your village from there. I think we have learned a lot about Gary that I have also learned a lot, and I know him. So um, I'm just very thankful for you saying yes to being here and showing up for me. So I really appreciate you.
Nah,
Um,
thank you for having me. You know, we go way back.
yes, please tell
Always
everyone
love.
where they can find you.
You can find the brand on Instagram, JosephineValerie.ny. You can find me on Instagram at gbooker, g.booker underscore jvny underscore, I think. But if you go to the Josephine Valerie page, my link is there. And you can shop the brand at josephinevalerie.com. 100%
Okay.
black owned, design, operated. Ain't nobody give me no money. It was all mine. It's me.
It's so awesome and amazing. Again, congratulations. Thank you for following. Now, if you are not following me on TikTok, please do so. It's a
Oh, I gotta
fun
follow.
time.
I got a TikTok. My TikTok garbage though, but I'm gonna find you. I gotta build my TikTok
Please
up
do.
because I ain't. You know what I'm saying, I ain't got the dancers.
I neither do I. That's fine. I went to see SZA with my daughter, and the DJ before the concert
That's
started
cool.
was playing the songs, and she was trying to get me to do hips, and I was like, I don't even really know if I know
Yeah,
what I'm doing, and for
right.
me to be doing it in the middle of Madison Square Garden, like,
I
oh, the
think that was
pressure
so dope. I seen that
just
in your
didn't
story.
work.
I seen in your story that you and your daughter went to the
Yeah, it
joint. I
was for
remember
her
when
birthday.
he was like what I think like probably like four or something when we first met.
Probably, or younger, like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, she was young.
And now she's 17. Oh my.
Wow.
Time
Yeah,
flies.
yeah, it does. That's dope.
Yeah, so on TikTok, my followers and I have been creating a playlist, an R&B playlist that is linked in my bio on all of my social channels. On Instagram and TikTok, the link in my bio has the playlist. Feel free to enjoy it. We are
Okay.
doing a hip hop list, and so we'll resume or actually begin that hip hop playlist on Tuesday at 9 p.m. I'll be going live on TikTok continuously. So if you are not following me there, please do and come and join the party. Gary, anything that you want to share with our friends before we go?
Um, I appreciate you having me on the podcast. Thank
I
you. Um,
appreciate you.
Also, the express views are of me personally. I'm Josephine Valerie. You know what I'm saying? Don't blame the brain. That's just how I think.
I appreciate that, and we appreciate the honesty. My following, they appreciate the candidness and the honesty. So, thank you for that, and thank you again for coming. And I look forward to having you back soon.
All right.
Have a good one, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all in the comments and on social media, Instagram, TikTok. It's been a pleasure as always, and we'll be back soon. See you later.